human rights groups.
All the human rights activists.
But human rights?
Dismiss human rights.
I'm so grateful that we have the West to teach us Muslims how to behave regarding human rights. After all, who else would we turn to if not the West? Because obviously the West has perfect human rights itself to lecture the rest of the world on how to behave, right? Right? Wrong. Which planet do these people live on where they think they can lecture the Muslim world on human rights and women's rights? Or you want to talk about human rights? Free Dr. Afia Siddiqui first, and then we can begin to talk about the rights of a human being. Have they already forgotten that both world wars occurred within Europe, within the West, with over 100 million casualties? Have they already forgotten that they invaded Iraq on a big fat lie? Do they not look in the mirror and see the chaos that they've caused in their own nations? Yet they have the audacity to talk about human rights. Is a child in the womb not a human being? Yet last year in the UK, over 200,000 fetuses were aborted. Talk about women's rights. They can't even give a definition of what a woman is.
A woman is not anything in particular.
There is not one particular thing.
It could be many things to many people.
20% of women in the US have experienced a man force himself on them. 2.5 million women in the UK suffer from eating disorders. They can't even leave their own home without putting makeup on first. From pub brawls over a footy match, to the invasion of entire nations, to getting rid of your elderly parents and throwing them into a care home because, you can't be bothered to look after them, the West is in no position at all to lecture the rest of the world about rights. In fact, these hypocrites do not speak from a position of superiority, they're speaking from a position of arrogance. Because right now in the world, they happen to be in a position of power. And if it really is the case that it bothers you so much, don't participate. What are you playing for? If you're so against it, then do one. Just like you say to all the migrants which come over. Leave the football then. Leave the commentary. Gary Lineker, he likes to talk the talk.
Stick to football, say FIFA. Well, we will. For a couple of minutes at least.
He needs to walk the walk and jump on the next flight out of Qatar because, I guess his paycheck in this regard outweighs his principles. And just for the record, Qatar does not rule by Islam. It's a secular nation with interest-based banking and Western-based institutions. However, the media would like to paint the picture that Qatar represents Islam. And therefore, they throw empty slogans directly at Qatar, but indirectly at Islam. It's safe to say that when a true Islamic model of governance rises up from the Muslim world, then we'll see truly how tall Islam stands above the many weaker systems and values of the world.